Pleasant good evening to everybody wherever you may be tonight. I'm Ryan Pickens. Grateful for your presence here tonight on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com as we get just about ready to go here as Tyler Hoyt, the starting pitcher for Beaver, will step into the mound. The right-hander for North Sevier, Tyrell Williams, winds, and the first pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen. No balls and a strike, and we're underway at about 7:12 Mountain Daylight Time. Scheduled to play 7, winner moves on. Williams set ready to go again, and the 0-1 pitch is on its way home, and that's fouled right back to the screen, 0-1. Let's give you the starting lineup for the visiting Beavers. Leading off is going to be the pitcher, number 6, Tyler Hoyt. Davis Heslington, the shortstop, hits second. Brendan Hutchings, the right fielder, hits third. Jackson Osborne, the third baseman, will hit fourth. Dylan Smith, the first baseman, hitting fifth as the 0-2 pitch misses high for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Porter Hollingshed will hit in the 6th spot. He'll be in center field. Austin Marshall, the second baseman, hits 7th. Tavin Fales, the catcher, hits 8th. And Trey Young rounds out the order as swinging and missing, and the ball gets away from Bossart behind home plate, but his throw to first in time to complete the strikeout. And the first out of the game has been recorded, and we are ready to go once again for state tournament baseball here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com as Davis Heslington will step into the box. Defensively for North Sevier tonight, in the outfield, Braxton Maxwell is in left, Rhett Porter in center, and right is Isaac Thompson as the first pitch to Heslington's high and away for a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. On the infield, Colby Christensen at third, Fisher Anderson at short. At second base, it's Trevor Okerlund. Over at first, Landry Nelson and Kyler Bossart behind home plate as the ball is grounded over to Nelson, who underhands to the pitcher Williams, covering for the second out of the game. So quickly 2 outs, and Brennan Hutchings will come to the plate. And on the mound for North Sevier will be the right-hander Tyrell Williams, looking to try to propel the Wolves into the next round, and a date tomorrow with Gunnison at 1:30 here at Brent Brown Ballpark. The wind and the delivery in the first pitch is swung on, grounded to third, fielded cleanly by Christensen. His throw across the diamond is in time, and couldn't have asked for a better start from Tyrell Williams. A 1-2-3 top of the first, and North Sevier coming up after the break. No score at the end of a half inning here from Brent Brown Ballpark. It's Beaver and North Sevier here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
North Sevier, playing center field, number 3, Rhett Porter.
Bottom of the first inning here on KSL.com. The first pitch to Rhett Porter is swung on and popped up. That's going to go foul. And we're back underway here. Let's give you the North Sevier starting lineup. The Wolves will lead off with center fielder Rhett Porter. Landry Nelson will hit in the 2 spot. Fisher Anderson third. Braxton Maxwell hits cleanup tonight as the 0-1 pitch misses away for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Kyler Bossart, the catcher, hits 5th. Tyrell Williams 6th. Isaac Thompson 7th. Colby Christensen 8th. And Trevor Okerlund rounds out the order and bats 9th as Rhett Porter takes a big cut and comes up empty. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. We'll give you the Beaver defense here momentarily. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The kick comes home. That one swung on, popped up. Giving it a look is Heslington. He's backpedaling. He's there, and he makes the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Defensively tonight for Beaver, in the outfield from left to right, Trey Young gets the start in left, Porter Hollingshed in center, Brennan Hutchings in right field. On the infield, Jackson Osborne at third, Davis Heslington, who just made the play there, starts at short, and the first pitch is a high fastball to Landry Nelson, 1 ball and no strikes. Austin Marshall at second base. At first, it's going to be Dylan Smith. Behind the plate, it will be Tavin Fales, and on the mound, as the pitch goes away for ball 2, is Tyler Hoyt, number 6 for Beaver. The Beavers in the blue tops and the white pants. The 2-0 pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike. North Sevier in the, I want to say maybe a maroon or a red top and gray pants. The 2-1 pitch, that bunt's going to be laid down the third baseline. Osborne's going to field it, have to make a quick throw, and he didn't get him. It was a bang-bang play at first. Dylan Smith kind of mishandled the throw as it came out of his glove, but even if that ball is put right on the money and he makes the play, Landry Nelson beats that out for the base hit. So here's Fisher Anderson, the shortstop, coming to the plate here with 1 away. So far the path here for North Sevier, as Hoyt will take a step off the mound. North Sevier finishing second in Region 15 to Emory, going 9-3 in region play, 14-10 overall in their regular season. As the pickoff move, diving back safely is Landry Nelson. Overall in their season in state playoffs, North Sevier was able to host their first round game at their field where they beat Parowan 11-1. As that one misses low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. They would then lose to Manti 11-3 last Saturday in their second game. That would put them in the bottom part of the bracket where they would, as the throw comes over, they didn't play a second game on Saturday, of course, because they lost to Manti, and that's when they got down today when they took on Millard. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Hoyt delivers that one. That one's on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, the winner of this one gets a date with Gunnison tomorrow at 1:30 here at Brent Brown Ballpark. So it should be an exciting one there today. Gunnison dropping a decision today to Enterprise. That one swung on and fouled back, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes the count now on Fisher Anderson. Enterprise winning that one 13-5 over Gunnison. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Fisher Anderson. Anderson with an open stance, pickoff move. Hoyt with a very quick throw over, and diving back was Landry Nelson. He's back safely. So settle in, scheduled to play 7 innings here tonight at Brent Brown Ballpark as the pickoff move again comes over and Nelson dives back safely. And so we'll have a Hoyt here, and now it looks like Anderson or Nelson might be maybe a little shaken up, just calling time, trying to get his composure. He's got a big lead over there at first. Wouldn't surprise me if he's going. 1-2, and he is going. That one's swung on, popped up. He's going to have to turn and retreat. Is the ball going to get out of play? And it is. So he'll get back easily here as we'll have another 1-2 pitch. That is the dangers when you do put on the hit and run. We saw that in, I believe it was the last game here that was played between Emory and Grand County, as a stolen base attempt came and a line drive was hit right at someone, and the man was easily doubled off. So that is one of the risks you take, is another pickoff move, and Nelson gets back once again. So Hoyt very concerned about Nelson over at the first. So now we'll see here what will happen here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, pitch coming home. That one swung on, popped up. Giving it a look is Dylan Smith, but again, he's going to run out of room as the ball will bounce down into the maintenance area down the right field line here at Brent Brown Ballpark. And we'll do another 1-2 pitch. So Fisher Anderson doing a very good job, staying in there, fouling off pitches. Really just kind of battling in the count here, making Tyler Hoyt, he'll throw over again, diving back again safely, his Landry Nelson. That's about the 5th time that Tyler Hoyt has thrown over. Hoyt, the right-hander on the mound, comes set from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch swung on and foul back. It will hit off the netting and roll right back onto the field, as Braxton Maxwell will come over from the on-deck circle and cluck that baseball. No score, bottom of the 1st inning. Beaver going 1-2-3 in the top. North Sevier getting their first base runner on. Landry Nelson had the single. Pickoff move. Nelson dives back again, safely underneath the tag. Umpires today, Trent Allred behind home plate. Marcus Moore on the base paths. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. The wind, the delivery comes. That one low and in the dirt. Fails with a good block behind home plate. And then he gets the ball back to the pitcher. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, a good hitter's count for Fisher Anderson. It will force the right-hander to have to come in here. The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled straight back to the screen. We'll do another 2-2 pitch. North Sevier coming out of course, Region 15, coming out with Emory and Grand. Region 15 well represented here at the state tournament. That one swung on and fouled back. We'll do another 2-2 pitch. Beaver coming out of Region 13, who kind of like Region 15 has a lot of their teams here that made the state tournament. Region 13 with having Enterprise and Delta here as well. Both those teams are still alive in the tournament. So 3 teams from Region 13 still alive. Pickoff move again, diving back, and they almost got him. In fact, I think you could make a case there that they had him. Hoyt made a great throw over and diving back, and just one of those things when I wish I had an instant replay to check out, because honestly, I think they had him. Nelson's going to have to be very careful here after all those throws. It almost paid off for Beaver. Hoyt set from the stretch, and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up. This is going to be Smith in foul territory. Can he get there? He's going to run all the way down to the bullpen, and the ball bounces in the maintenance area. So we'll have another 2-2 pitch. So Fisher Anderson fighting off every pitch he's getting here. He's just kind of finding ways to fight the pitches off, and when he does that, it seems to have been working pretty well today. So definitely going to be something here. The 2-2 pitch, pickoff move, diving back. Did they get him? No, they did not. Back in under the tag right there. You have to really think Landry Nelson, with all these pickoff moves, has to be getting tired, because he's having to get back, and he's having to get back relatively quickly. 2-2 pitch, runner goes. That one swung on, hit pretty well out to left. Young is going to get under it in left field. He's there. He makes the play for the second out of the inning. And so with 2 outs here in the inning, Braxton Maxwell is going to come to the plate. So after what seemed to be a long at-bat with all the pickoff moves, the fly ball gets the out, and with 2 outs here in the inning, Braxton Maxwell comes to the plate. Maxwell will hit here from the left side.
Left fielder number 24, Braxton Maxwell.
Runner gets his lead over at first, being held on, as we'll see if Hoyt comes over again. Bunt show, pulls back, runner goes. The throw down is not in time. It's going to get into center field. Getting up and going down to third is Nelson. Here comes the throw to third on the money, but getting in underneath the tag as the ball, Osborne wasn't able to handle it, and now North Sevier has a runner on third and 2 outs. So it'll be a stolen base there. The throw now, the question's going to be whether that would be considered an error, and it's going to be a throwing error there against Fales as his throw went into center field. So now North Sevier, runner 90 feet away, looking to manufacture that early run to give Tyrell Williams some run support. Tyler Hoyt, the right-hander, goes back to work here on the mound. 2 gone. The infield for Beaver will go back and just play at a normal depth. The wind, the delivery comes, swung on and missed, and it's no balls and 2 strikes on Braxton Maxwell. Outfield will play pretty normal. It's a big outfield, and so Hollingshed in center field playing a little more shallow than what some people might see if they're used to seeing baseball here. That pitch well off the plate, but a good 0-2 pitch to see if maybe they couldn't get Maxwell to chase. Blue sky out around the ballpark here. The clouds moving away. A 1-2 pitch on its way home. Swung on. That ball's hit deep out into right center field. Hutchings going back, still going back. Reaches up. He's not going to get there. North Sevier is going to take the lead. Going into second is sliding in is Braxton Maxwell with an RBI double. The gaps here at Brent Brown Ballpark are fairly deep, and right there, you kind of saw it on the first time. Brennan Hutchings having to get back into the gap, and he just didn't quite get there, as Kyler Bossart will come to the plate. Bossart looking for that clutch RBI as the Wolves have taken a 1-0 lead here on the Beavers. First pitch coming in, Bossart swings and comes up empty, no balls and a strike. Final game of the day here at Brent Brown Ballpark. There's been 4 of them, and then another 4 down in Spanish Fork. It's been a busy day of 2A state tournament baseball. 0-1 pitch, misses away for a ball, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hoyt on the mound from the stretch, takes a look at second, comes home. That one blocked in the dirt by Fales, and that's going to hold Maxwell at second base. So this is going to be a big opportunity here. Early runs in big postseason games can be big. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch coming in. That one's going to get to the backstop. And moving down 90 feet is going to be Braxton Maxwell. Maxwell is going to be standing on third with 2 outs. The hitter, Bossart, at the plate, is going to have a 3-1 count and should see something good to hit here if he should try to open this one up. Not the start that Beaver wanted here in this game. Looking for that final out here of the first inning. Hoyt takes a look over at third at the runner. It comes home 3-1, low ball 4, and Bossart draws a 2-out walk to bring up the pitcher, Tyrell Williams. So now Williams comes to the plate here with 2 outs, looking to try to help his own cause. If he can try to see here if he can't try to come through, and I mean really as a pitcher in this situation, one of those only things offensively a lot of times, this is your opportunity to try to see if you can't knock home that run. Runners on the corners with 2 down. Williams with a close stance with his feet towards right field. Hoyt with that quick pickoff move. Throws over to get Bossart diving back. No courtesy runner here for North Sevier. A lot of times today we've seen courtesy runners come in the ballgame. Hoyt delivers home the first pitch. There's a fastball over the middle for a called strike, and it's no balls and a strike. The count here on Tyrell Williams. Runners on the corners, no balls and a strike. Hoyt set, ready to go again. Steps to third, looks over, throws to first, and almost coming off the bag there at first was Bossart. He got his foot back over on the base and then kind of came off the base a little bit and almost applying the tag there. Dylan Smith threw the tag back on, but he hadn't come off the base yet. Heads up play by Smith, the first baseman. The 0-1 pitch, that one's over on the outside. Snap throw down to first. Had the throw been on money, they might have had Bossart, but that one throw came up the line, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. The danger of that throw is if it gets, for some reason, behind or by Dylan Smith, that run scores. Hoyt looking for that big final strike. The 0-2 pitch, the wind to the delivery, swung on and missed. Got him with the off-speed stuff, but North Sevier does score the first run of the ball game. We head to the top of the second here at Brent Brown Ballpark. It's North Sevier 1, Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
After 1 full lane of play, North Sevier 1, Beaver 0.
Top of the second inning beginning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah, where North Sevier has gotten out to an early 1-0 lead on the visiting Beaver Beavers. As here in the second inning, it'll be Jackson Osborne, Dylan Smith, and Porter Hollingshed. 4, 5, and 6 coming up here against Tyrell Williams, who went 1, 2, 3 in the first. Williams, the right-hander, kicks and comes home, and the first pitch is swung on and fouled back above the stadium here and into the parking lot. It'll be no balls and 1 strike to count. Osborne stands in with a fairly even stance in the box, ready to go. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to count here on Jackson Osborne. Osborne stands back in, quickly throws his hand up, let umpire know I'm not ready yet. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. He threw the bat out there and chased a pitch low and away. The second strikeout of the night for Tyrell Williams, and the first out here in the second inning, and now that brings up Dylan Smith. That was a good pitch and more than 1 account. First off, no balls and 2 strikes. Not a bad idea there to, throw one off the plate and see if the hitter won't try to chase. Tyrell Williams ready to go, kicks and comes home, and that one's going to be just off the plate for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Good job there by Bossart there, trying to kind of frame the pitch and try to bring it back over the middle of the strike zone, but just wasn't able to quite bring it over. The 0-1 pitch on the way, swung on. That one's going to be fouled back, and we'll have another 1-1 pitch coming. A complete day of baseball action coming to you tomorrow here from Brent Brown Ballpark, starting at 11 a.m., Delta and Emory. That should be a good one. An elimination game. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, swung on, bounced into the hole. Over at second, is going to get through. Okerlund tried to make a diving attempt at it at second base and didn't quite come up with it. And so with 1 out, Dylan Smith reaches for Beaver, and that's going to bring up Porter Hollingshed here with 1 out. That was just a kind of a dribbler that Nelson or Okerlund both tried to get to, and none of them came up with, and it found his way into right field. So Hollingshed to stand in from the right side. Pickoff move, diving back safely is Dylan Smith. Action tomorrow, like I said, gets started at 11. Delta and Emory. Gunnison at 1:30 takes on the winner of this one. And then the 4:30 game, Manti and Enterprise. That is a game of no-loss teams. That one swung on, popped up. Going into right field. Thompson coming in from right. He's under it. He's there, and he'll make the play. So 2 outs here in the top of the second inning, and Austin Marshall, the second baseman, comes to the plate. The winner of the 11 a.m. and 1:30 games will meet again at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And the loser of those 2 matchups will be eliminated. And the pitch coming in inside and low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. We talked about that matchup between Manti and Enterprise of no losses. The winner gets an automatic ticket to the state championship game Saturday at 11 a.m. The loser, though, has to play a game Saturday morning at 9 a.m. That one's popped up on the infield. The pitcher going to take it himself. Williams reaches up and makes the play, and the second inning comes to an end. So 1 hit in the inning for Beaver, but they strand him. We head to the bottom of the second here at Brent Brown Ballpark. It is North Sevier 1, Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the second inning here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com here as North Sevier coming up. They currently have a 1-0 lead. It will be 7-8-9. Isaac Thompson, Colby Christensen, Trevor Okerlund coming up here for the Wolves, who in that top half of the first inning got Landry Nelson on. Nelson would steal second base and advance to third on a throwing error, and then would come around to score on an RBI double by Braxton Maxwell. And the first pitch comes inside and hits Isaac Thompson, so he is on to start the second inning. And the importance in high school baseball, and really baseball in general, of getting the leadoff man on is really important at any level. It kind of can change the whole way you view strategy for the inning. So right now our base umpire, Marcus Moore, going out to have a quick word here with Hoyt. I'm not sure exactly what he was saying. He could have been warning him for a balk call, and now coming out here, they're going to bring out now the Beaver coach is going to come out, and I think he's going to probably ask for an explanation as to why Marcus Moore here was talking to his pitcher. And I'm not sure exactly what was going on. I think, trying to just read body language from, a long way away, it's not exactly, key, but I think what they're just trying to do is make sure that they're on the same page as to what the problem was here and give an explanation, as Marcus Moore didn't waste any time coming in from behind the pitcher. I couldn't see exactly what was going on, but whatever it is, the explanation has been given. It appeared to be some sort of warning to Tyler Hoyt about something that was going on. So nobody out here as Colby Christensen comes up. Hoyt back here from the stretch, delivers home the first pitch, low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. So something to keep an eye on, whether, it was warning on a balk or something else, but it's kind of one of those things he was let know. Marcus Moore, of course, standing right behind him. Pickoff move, diving back safely over to first is Isaac Thompson, the base runner. Umpires do have a fairly difficult job, and all the little things they have to be able to see. The 1-0 pitch swung on. That ball is hit well to center field. Right at Hollingshed, though, who gets back under it. He makes the play for the first out of the inning. So Christensen put a pretty good ride into that one, but at the end of the day, it's just a routine fly ball for Porter Hollingshed in center field. And with 1 out now, Trevor Okerlund is going to come to the plate. Okerlund getting the start at second base tonight for the Wolves. Stands in with his open stance. Pickoff move, diving back safely underneath the tag once again is Isaac Thompson. Tyler Hoyt's been very concerned about keeping the Wolves base runners close to the bag. And Hoyt comes home and delivers. That one swung on, popped up down the line, and that one's going to go foul. It'll be no balls and a strike. The 9-hole hitter, Okerlund. And then we go back to the top of the lineup and Rhett Porter. Hoyt from the stretch, looks in and will throw back over. Diving back safely over to first is Isaac Thompson. No balls and 1 strike. Hoyt set from the stretch, delivers home. That one on the outside corner for a called strike, and now it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. So Hoyt's done a good job here of just getting it over the plate here for a called strike. The 0-2 pitch, that's a straight pitch out, and it's taken for a ball as quickly Tavin Fales popped up and looked to throw down to first, but diving back safely there was Isaac Thompson. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Hoyt set, ready to go from the stretch. Looks in, delivers the 1-2 pitch, swung on, fouled straight back, and we'll do another 1-2. Hoyt, been willing here to go to work, been willing to put pitches over the plate. And he'll do another 1-1-2 here, right on the outside corner, called strike 3. Trevor Okerlund, you could tell, was not 100% pleased with the call, kind of turned, looked at the umpire, headed back to the dugout. So that is going to be the first strikeout of the night for Tyler Hoyt. Second out here of the second inning, and back to the top of the lineup, and Rhett Porter. Porter stands in, hitting from that left side. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. And the first pitch is going to be swung on, grounded the other way. As going with the pitch there was Isaac Thompson. It'll be fouled away, no balls and a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count here on Rhett Porter, hitting from the left side. Thompson was going with the last pitch, gets his lead again. We'll see if he goes pickoff move. And of course, after him going last time, you know Beaver's going to be very content with throwing over. Tyler Hoyt's had no trouble slowing the game down. Has been very willing to make his pickoff moves over to first. 0-1 pitch about to come home, and now it's on its way. That one's hit hard, well to center field. Hollingshed getting over, under it, and makes the catch. And the second inning comes to an end. So North Sevier gets a man on, gets the leadoff man on, hit by a pitch, but they can't turn him around at the end of 2 from Brent Brown Ballpark. It's North Sevier 1, Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the third inning beginning here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Beaver coming up here in the third, 8-9-1. Tavin Fales is going to lead it off. And Trey Young to follow, and then back to the top of the lineup, and Tyler Hoyt. The right-hander Tyrell Williams back to work. Kicks and delivers the first pitch high and tight for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Williams has worked pretty quickly on the mound, pretty much gets the ball, gets the sign, and 1 ball and no strikes. He's going to be ready to go again. The pitch, this one low and in the dirt for ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes on Tavin Fales, the leadoff hitter for Beaver. Beaver in the blue and white, North Sevier in the maroon and gray, as the pitch is swung on and missed. It is 2 balls and a strike now. 1-0 North Sevier. The Wolves able to get one across in the bottom of the first. 2-1 pitch swung on. That one's going to be popped up. Shallow going for it's the catcher sliding, but he couldn't come up with it. It was Bossart there. A good run and a good way to get there, but just came up, you know, a foot or so empty, and it'll be, now it's going to put the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sorry, no, that's going to even it up, actually, 2-2, now that I think of it. Bossart looks like something, I don't know if he's fixing his, I think he's fixing his shoe, I want to say. It looks like he's tying his cleat back up here. He came over there to slide, and so he'll fix that, and now he'll get ready to go once again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sorry, 2 balls and 2 strikes. To keep looking up the scoreboard, and scoreboard showing 1 and 2. Williams kicks and comes home with the pitch. That one swung on, popped up again. That's going to come close to us, and we'll hit the netting and roll back. There's not a very big distance between the netting and the roof, and so a ball would have to really be hit well to fall in between, but I was told before I got here today during the 11 o'clock game that one came through there and almost came up to us here in the KSL booth, as that one grounded to third, and mishandling it is Christensen, and reaching base is Fales. So Fales gets on. They're going to give him a base hit here in the third on just a chopper to third that Christensen Colby Christensen went to field, and he just kind of didn't handle it with his glove. And now number 1, Trey Young, the left fielder, comes to the plate. Lopshire going to come in and run over at first. He's going to courtesy run here for the catcher fails. So we'll get that put in the scorebook. And with nobody out, Trey Young steps in from the right side. We'll see here if they don't look to just sacrifice. Young swings first pitch, hits one hard, but foul. Hit it hard off the mat that sits down the left field line, blocking the cement there before it jets off into about the 305 mark, just past the bullpen. And that you could hear the ball hit that mat. Trey Young hit that ball hard, but just foul. No balls and a strike. Lopshire gets his lead over at first. Now gets a bigger lead, inching towards second. The pitch on its way, breaking ball, stays above the head of Young as he ducks under the way. And now the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Young will take a look down at the third base coaching box and now comes set, ready to go. Even stance in that box. Again, kind of inching his way towards seconds. Lopshire swung out and missed. Young couldn't quite catch up. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the on-deck circle, it's Tyler Hoyt for Beaver. Back to the top of the lineup. Tyrell Williams, the right-hander, has a 1-2 count here on Trey Young. Double play depth up the middle. The 1-2 pitch and the pickoff move, diving back safely, is going to be Lopshire. Lights beginning to come on here at Brent Brown Ballpark. They've been kind of on throughout the day periodically, depending on how much cloud cover we've had. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Good block behind the plate by Bossart, and it will even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the winner gets a 1:30 game tomorrow against Gunnison. And then if you win that, you get a 7 o'clock game as well. So be another long day of baseball potentially for these kids, but I don't think any of them will be upset. The 2-2 pitch misses low, ball 3, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count now on Trey Young. So now the question becomes, are you going to send Lopshire here, 3-2? Typically with nobody out in the inning, you wouldn't do that, but you just never know. Putting the game in motion might help you if you're Beaver. 3-2 pitch, runner not going. Young grounds that one foul past the third base coach into the bullpen. The bullpens here at Brent Brown Ballpark sit down in play down the third baseline. It's kind of similar to the Oakland Coliseum in the sense where they're not behind like the left field fence or something like that. They're just down the baseline here. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Runner over at first. The pitch swung out and missed as Young couldn't catch up. The 3rd strikeout of the night for Tyrell Williams. The first out here in the 3rd inning, and now back to the top of the lineup in Tyler Hoyt. Hoyt was the first strikeout victim back in the 1st, went down swinging, and then the strikeout was complete when Bossart threw down to Nelson at first base. Hoyt will stand in here looking to help his own cause, with his team trailing 1-0 here in the top of the 3rd. Pitcher against pitcher. We'll see both of them hit in each other's lineups tonight. First pitch comes, swung on, popped up. Bossart going to give it a look. Is he going to run out of room? And he will, as it will hit off the netting and roll back onto the field and be no balls and a strike. Behind home plate here, not a lot of foul territory, so a lot of those pop-ups are going to favor the hitter, in which they're going to get up onto that net and get out of play. So you really have to just pop one straight up if you're going to keep it in the field of play. Hoyt will take a step out of the mound and now stand back in on the mat, in the box. He is not pitching right now, he's hitting. Tyrell Williams set, and the 0-1 pitch. Fastball, ground ball hit to short. Backhanded by Anderson, who bobbled it, quickly tosses to first, and they didn't get him at second. That ground ball ate him up, and when the pitch came to, and when the toss from the shortstop in that situation, Fisher Anderson, over to Okerlund, it pulled Okerlund high off the bag, and he didn't get his foot back on. So the fielder's choice, Hoyt grounds into, but Lopshire able to get there on the E6, And with one out now, Davis Heslington comes to the plate here for Beaver. Heslington 0 for 1, grounded out to first, back in the first inning. Williams kicks, comes home. There's a ground ball hit to second. Okerlund with it. He's going to go to short for 1. The relay to first, not in time. So again, another fielder's choice, but Hoyt retired on the play for the second out of the inning. Heslington hits into the 4-6 fielder's choice. And with 2 outs, Brennan Hutchings, the right fielder, comes to the plate. Runners on the corners with 2 out in the inning. Beaver has the tying run 90 feet away. Hutchings grounded out to third, back in the first inning to end that inning for the Beavers. Tyrell Williams, the right-hander, looking in to Bossart for the sign. Heslington with good speed over at first. And the first pitch is swung on and hit out to center field. Coming in is Porter. He's there, he'll make the play. And the third inning comes to an end. So Beaver gets a couple of men on, but they can't produce a run. We head to the bottom of the third here in Orem, Utah. It's North Sevier 1, and it's Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
For North Sevier, playing first base, number 23, Landry Nelson.
Bottom of the third inning here in Orem, Utah, Brent Brown Ballpark, as North Sevier comes up 2, 3, and 4, and the first pitch misses away to ball 1 to Landry Nelson. Nelson started everything for the Wolves back in the first. Started with a single and then was able to steal a base and went to third on an error, as he swings and fouls the second pitch back and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Landry Nelson, Fisher Anderson, Braxton Maxwell due up here in the third. The 1-1 pitch is swung on. That one's popped up into right. Coming in is Hutchings. He's there. He'll make the play, and the first out is made. So with 1 out, Fisher Anderson comes up. Anderson 0 for 1, flew out to center field and is lone at bat of the ball game. Anderson was at the plate when all these throw-overs kept coming from pitcher Tyler Hoyt. He must have thrown over at least 5 or 6 times before Anderson flew out. Pitch on the way. That one misses low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Big open stance in the batter's box. And the 1-0 pitch, kick and delivery. That one on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Wolves on top of the Beavers. A 1-1 pitch on its way, breaking ball, swung on, grounded to second base. Marshall charges and will quickly throw over to first in time for the second out. So just a quick ground out there, and if you're Tyler Hoyt, that's what you want. You got the first 2 outs of the inning, and now the hard part, you got to get that final out as Braxton Maxwell comes to the plate. As a pitcher, when you get those 2 outs, sometimes getting that final third out can be the most difficult task of them all. Maxwell had the RBI double back in the first inning that put North Sevier up. And the first pitch in there about knee-high with the fastball, and it's no balls and a strike. Maxwell wears number 24, playing tonight in left field. No balls and a strike. The right-hander Hoyt kicks and delivers his 3/4 arm delivery and drops that one too low for a ball, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch, the kick and the delivery coming home. That one swung on, fouled straight back up over us as it hits off the steel tin roof, whatever the material is that makes that loud noise, as it rolls back behind the offices, back over by the tennis courts. The 1-2 pitch Breaking ball comes, and Maxwell does a great job just to make some kind of contact with it. Fouls it off over into by the Wolves dugout there, sends a couple of his teammates quickly scurrying as that pitch came. The 1-2 pitch on its way home, and that's right on the outside corner, taken for ball 2, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And quickly the 2-2 pitch comes. That one swung on, hit well to center field. Hollinshed going back, he's under it, he'll make the play, and the 3rd inning comes to an end. We've played 3 here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah. It's North Sevier 1 and Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A High School State Baseball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 4th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. It's North Sevier 1 and Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament here as the home site games are done, and now we're here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that's in there for a called strike to Jackson Osborne. It'll be Osborne, Smith, and Hollinshed, 4, 5, and 6 coming up for Beaver. Jackson Osborne, 0 for 1, went down on strikes last time up. The 0-2 pitch, he swings and is going to roll that one foul back behind home plate. And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on the cleanup hitter. Osborne will take a step out of the box. Now will stand back in. Tyrell Williams, the right-hander, set on the mound, kicks and comes home. The 0-2 pitch misses high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. A lot of times, 0-2, you'll see pitchers throw pitches that, aren't too far outside of the strike zone, but aren't exactly in the strike zone as it gets the hitter to try to chase. That's a ground ball hit to short. It's going to eat off Anderson, and reaching will be Jackson Osborne. That ball was a simple ground ball. We'll see here how they rule that, but I would imagine that would have to be an error there. And it is. It's going to be... It will be an error there against Anderson as Osborne reaches. Here's Dylan Smith. Smith 1 for 1, had a single in his first at-bat, and then got stranded on the base paths in the 2nd inning. Tying run for Beaver on the base paths. Tyrell Williams, the right-hander, getting ready to go back to work. Smith, the 5-hole hitter. First pitch, that one's high and tight. He just kind of turns his head out of the way and takes it for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. These 2 teams are playing for an opportunity to play Gunnison tomorrow at 1:30 in the afternoon. And another elimination game. Both these teams, to keep their seasons alive, they can only do one thing, and that's win, as the 1-0 pitch sits on the outside corner for a called strike. You win, you keep your season going for the teams that have previously lost in the state tournament. If you lose, your season comes to an end. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. The right-hander set and delivers home. That one swung on, popped up. Porter coming in, and now he's going to just get back under it. He's there, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. So Tyrell Williams for North Sevier has done a great job keeping the ball down in the strike zone. He's given up a couple of hits on the day. He's given up 2 so far through 3 1/3 innings, but when it's come down to getting those base runners around, he's only had 1 base runner in scoring position tonight. One away here for Porter Hollingshed, the center fielder. Hollingshed 0 for 1, flew out to right as the pickoff move comes over to first, and Osborne's back safely. Outfield playing pretty straight away, but shallow in right and in left. Porter, the only one playing deep in center field. That one's low, and it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hollingshed will take a step out of the batter's box, look down to third, and now step back in. With 1 out, Osborne gets a pretty good lead at first base. Now inches forward, that's a ground ball hit to second, could be 2. Okerlund to Anderson for 1, and the ball came out, and they're gonna say that it was on the transfer. The base umpire, Marcus Moore, quickly going to say, hey, it was on the transfer. So at the end of the day, it will be a fielder's choice. Osborne's gonna be retired. The second out of the innings recorded. And with 2 outs, Austin Marshall, number 5, is gonna come to the plate. Marshall 0 for 1, popped out to the pitcher to end the second inning. Tyrell Williams just seems to be kind of on cruise control. And the first pitch is swung on, that ball is hit out to right. Thompson's there, he ranges under it, reaches up and makes the play. And the 4th inning for Beaver comes to an end. So once again, Beaver gets a man on due to an error, but they strand him at the end of 3.5 innings. It's North Sevier 1, Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Right now, North Sevier in control, leading this one 1-0, as Kyler Bossart will stand in to lead it off. It will be Bossart, Williams, and Thompson, 5, 6, and 7 coming up here against Hoyt. And Hoyt kicks and delivers the first pitch. That's low for a ball or a called strike, and it's no balls and a strike. The count here on Bossart. Bossart walked back in the 1st inning before getting stranded on the base paths. No balls and a strike. Hoyt slide steps, comes home, and that one's grounded foul down the 3rd baseline. It'll be no balls and 2 strikes. North Sevier able to manufacture that run in the 1st inning. Landry Nelson got on, stole second base, throwing area, moved down to the 3rd. Then later on, Maxwell brought him in with an RBI double. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. Hoyt looking for that final strike, and the delivery comes home. That's just off the plate for a ball, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tough pitch there if you're Kyler Bossart to lay off, because that's a pitch that really could go either way. The 1-2 pitch on its way, that one bounces in. Good block behind home plate there by Fales, even though if that ball gets behind him, there's no damage done. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And Hoyt ready to go again. Delivers the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up. High on the infield. Getting there is the first baseman, Smith. He'll make the catch just around the coach's box. And the first out is taken care of here in the 4th. And Tyrell Williams, the opposing pitcher, will come up. Williams went down on strikes back to end the 1st inning. Looking here to try to help his own cause right now and take some pressure off him when you only have a 1-run lead. One swing of the bat can change that. And the first pitch goes low and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Hoyt's been willing to throw over to first, keep these runners close, but it's worked pretty quickly outside of that. There he misses for the ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. It's been kind of something interesting to watch, just to kind of see here how the 2-0 pitch gets that one over, and that's going to be a called strike about thigh high. And it will be 2 balls and 1 strike here, the count on Tyrell Williams. Ready to go again, the 2-1 pitch inside, almost nicked him, but it deviled the dance out of the way there was Tyrell Williams, and it's 3 balls and a strike. So good hitters count here for Tyrell Williams. Should see something good to pitch. Hoyt gonna have to come in probably with the fastball. He does, and that's just off the plate, ball 4. I think Tyrell Williams thought that might have been a strike as he kind of turned and looked down to third and went, oh, it's ball 4. So then tossed the bat and went down to first. So with 1 out now, that's gonna bring up Isaac Thompson. Thompson on the day was hit by a pitch in his first and only at bat of the ball game. Stands in from the right side. Hoyt will step off the mound here. We've seen Hoyt, when runners have gotten on base, he really slows the game down. There he takes a look over at first. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws over. And he does, and diving back safely is Tyrell Williams. This is one of those situations when I wouldn't really be surprised if North Sevier went to a courtesy runner, because we know of how often Hoyt will throw over. Williams with a pretty good lead here, not throwing over. This one's over on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count here on Isaac Thompson. A double play ball here would be very nice if you're Tyler Hoyt. The 0-1 pitch, a pitch out. Almost, I don't know why he didn't throw down there. The base runner, Tyrell Williams, kind of slipped when he was trying to get back to the bag, and had Fales thrown down there, he might have had a good shot at getting him. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Hoyt set from the stretch, looks in, gets the sign, and delivers a breaking ball. It stays high above about the shoulders, and it's 2 balls and a strike now on Isaac Thompson. Colby Christensen on deck for the Wolves. Then it would be Trevor Okerlund in the 9-hole. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The pitch on its way. That one's fought off and fouled down the line. The count will even up at 2-2. That pitch came inside, and so trying to just kind of fight that one off on the inside corner was Thompson, and somehow he got around on it but just couldn't keep it in play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Thompson. Thompson will stand back in the box here. Now has to kind of protect but also be willing to understand if a pitch is off the plate to take it. Time called here by Thompson, says home plate umpire Trent Allred. Dylan Smith holding the runner Tyrell Williams on at first. Hoyt comes home, the 2-2 swung on and missed as he got him to chase. And you can tell some frustration on Isaac Thompson there that he chased that. That is the 2nd strikeout of the night for Tyler Hoyt. And with 2 outs here in the 4th inning, Colby Christensen's going to come to the plate. Christensen flew out to center field back in the 2nd inning. Tyrell Williams, the base runner, over at first. Gets his lead, pickoff move, he's back standing. The 1 run in this ball game coming in the bottom of the 1st inning. It's been 0s ever since. Hoyt here from the stretch, looks in and delivers. That one over the plate for a called strike at the knees, and it's no balls and 1 strike to count. No balls and 1 strike to count here on Colby Christensen. Pickoff move, diving back, and back safely there was Tyrell Williams. It's always interesting to see, because in a lot of times, you get into the higher levels of baseball, there's 2 base umpires. There's one, at third, over at first all the time, and now we're going to see the courtesy runner come into play. Not too surprised with how many times he was throwing over. It's going to be number 27, Sean Sorensen, coming in to courtesy run here for the pitcher. Not surprised with how many times he was throwing over. I'm surprised they didn't go to it, a little bit sooner. So Sorensen to courtesy run here. No balls and a strike to count. The pitch on its way, misses low and away. So Sorensen to pinch run. No, 1 ball and 1 strike to count now on Colby Christensen. Sorensen gets his lead at first, pickoff move, dives back safely underneath the tag. You know, and I mean, I don't want to say this negatively affects the pitch count from Hoyt, but it's not like these throws are just kind of soft throws to get him back. He is throwing hard over there to first. The 1-1 pitch, right on the outside corner. A beautiful pitch for a called strike, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So you would think that after he throws over enough times, you would think that that would begin to have some wear on his arm. Hoyt with that kind of drop down 3/4 arm slot, kind of sidearm, but not, gets Colby Christensen to swing and miss, his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Hoyt. And we head to the 5th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. It's 1-0 North Sevier here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Beaver nothing.
Top of the 5th inning here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Thank you for joining us for this one. It's Beaver and North Sevier. It's 1-0 Wolves here as we head to the top of the 5th inning. And thank you for joining us throughout the day, whether it was just for a few minutes or for this day to its entirety. As the first pitch to Travis Fales is low and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Fales singled back in the 3rd, and then Talon Lobshire came in to pinch run for him, and then Lopshire got stranded at 3rd. The 1-0 pitch on its way home. That one swung on by Fales, kind of 1 hop to short. Anderson's going to have to try to barehand it. He didn't come up with it. Anderson just couldn't quite come up with it on the barehand, and so Fales is on for the 2nd time in the ball game here, and that's going to be, I believe that's got to be ruled a hit. I'm just waiting for it to go up officially here on the board at Brent Brown Ballpark. And it is. It will be a hit. And so now Trey Young's going to come to the plate. So the same part of the lineup for Beaver that started everything in the 3rd up here in the 5th. And you got to wonder, if you're Beaver, you only are going to have so many more opportunities in this one to try to tie it up. Tyrell Williams from the stretch. Young's going to lay down a bump, but it's going to roll foul as he just laid it down a little too hard as Christensen came up to field it. And it would be no balls and a strike on Trey Young. Young went down on strikes in the 3rd inning after a couple of bunt attempts, swung and chased a pitch out of the strike zone. Beaver in their blue tops, white pants. North Sevier, kind of reddish maroon tops and gray pants on this Thursday evening for baseball. 0-1 pitch comes, and that one misses a little high and away for a ball, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Believe Lopshire into run again over at first base. He's got a big lead. Inching his way closer to second base. The 1-1 pitch on its way. There's a called strike in there on the knees, low and outside. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Young. And it will be Lopshire coming back into run here for Beaver. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Big hole on the right side. We'll see maybe if they try to do some hit and run. Pickoff move. Lopshire dives back safely. On deck's the pitcher, Tyler Hoyt, and the Beaver top with the lineup. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The delivery comes home. That one blocked in the dirt, and the count will even up at 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've seen Young try to lay down the bunt. With 2 strikes, though, the danger of laying down the bunt is if it goes foul, it's the equivalent of a strikeout. You can't bunt a 3rd strike foul. The 2-2 pitch, that one misses low, ball 3. And now the count kind of goes back into Trey Young's favor, 3-2. There's no way that Tyrell Williams here wants to walk Young and put a couple of men on. So we should see a good pitch. We'll see what Tyrell Williams goes with here. The 3-2 pitch on its way, right on the outside corner, called strike 3. Trey Young knew it. He took about 2 steps out of the box and went right back to the dugout. That is the 4th strikeout of the day for Tyrell Williams, and now back to the top of the lineup, and it was going to be Tyler Hoyt. Hoyt has struck out and also grounded into a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning. 1 gone here in the 5th. And the pitch on its way. Hoyt's going to one-hop that one to second. Knocked down by Okerlund. Goes to second for 1. The relay not going to be in time. And Okerlund's down. He is, and quickly out of the dugout comes, I believe, the coach for North Sevier, and also it looks like a trainer. That ball took just a nasty kind of wicked one-hop on him. Okerlund's going to get up and kind of walk it off towards right field, but that he's holding kind of his kind of cheek up by his face there. As that ball was a hard hit ball that one hop, and he just kind of, when he fielded it, went down. And I was surprised in a sense he was able to even make the toss to second base for the out. I was just kind of surprised there as we just take a look here at him getting checked out by the trainers. I would not be surprised if he comes off the field here in this case. But we'll kind of see here how that plays out. You can tell he's trying to fight it here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. 1-0 North Sevier. And I think he's gonna stay in the ball game. That tough kid, he took a shot, a one-hop shot that just went right at him. He's gonna stay in the ball game here with 2 outs in the 5th inning, at least for the time being. So it's going to be another fielder's choice, 4-6 for Tyler Hoyt. The ground out will retire Lopshire. So with 2 outs now, Davis Heslington comes up, is going to come to the plate. And now I think there's a conversation being made here between the athletic trainer or one of the coaches and then also our home plate umpire. There are rules in high school sports, especially with concussions and injuries and things like that. So our home plate umpire could just be making sure that, you know, everything's okay that wise and to that degree. So with 2 outs, Davis Heslington's going to come to the plate. Heslington is 0 for 2 with a ground out, or 2 ground outs actually on the night. Pickoff move, diving back, and they didn't get him. And North Sevier thought for sure they had Hoyt. They had, I think everybody on the field was going towards the dugout, and then our base umpire called him safe. Hoyt very lucky on that one. They didn't get picked. Throws back over, and this one not so close as the ball will be returned immediately back to the pitcher. Hoyt with not a huge lead over at first, kind of just your average lead, but Tyrell Williams with a very good move to first. Working here from the stretch, the pitch comes home, and Heslington fouls that one back, and it'll be no balls and a strike. Beaver's been able to get base runners on the base paths tonight, but they just haven't been able to turn those runners around and produce scores, and that's been the big difference in the ball game. They haven't been able to get many runners past second base either. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, stays up high, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And in baseball, it's one thing to get runners on at first, but what you really have to do is find a way to manufacture runners from first over to second, over to third, and find ways to produce those runs. 1-1 pitch, runner's gonna go. Heslington grounds that one deep into the hole. It's gonna be cut off. The throw is in time from Christensen. Christensen came over into the hole, grabbed the ball before the shortstop Anderson could, and fired a dart in time over to first base. So Beaver will get the one single by Fales, but 1 man is left. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning at Brent Brown Ballpark. It's North Sevier 1, and it's Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the 5th inning here on KSL.com as 9-1-2 comes up here in the bottom of the 5th inning for North Sevier. Trevor Okerlund to lead it off. Okerlund took a shot in the top half of the inning that came up and kind of shook him up momentarily, but he stayed in the ball game as he takes the first pitch for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Okerlund 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout back in the 2nd inning as Fales will go out and have a quick word with Tyler Hoyt. Bottom of the 5th inning. So bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0 score in favor of North Sevier. That run coming way back in the 1st. And the pitcher's duel we've had ever since as the 1-0 pitch hits the outside corner for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. No runs on 3 hits and 1 error for Beaver. 1 run on 2 hits and 2 errors for North Sevier. And Okerlund goes right back up the middle into center field. So he shakes off the injury there to get a leadoff single. And now we'll see if North Sevier can maybe get some run support, maybe get a couple of insurance runs here as we get into the late innings of this 7-inning contest. And now back to the top lineup and Rhett Porter. Porter 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to center field. Tyler Hoyt, the right-hander, has been very, I'm going to say, cautious with runners on base. He's been very willing to throw over and make sure those runners stay close. He does that here. And diving back safely is Okerlund. It's kind of interesting because North Sevier really hasn't taken that many chances on the base paths tonight to really warrant, and really they haven't had a chance to because Hoyt throws over so much. Bunt show, but he pulls it back, the snap throw down to first, and Okerlund is back standing. So we'll see here if North Sevier lays down the bunt, tries to play maybe some small ball here and tries to produce that run that way. Definitely have a good part of your lineup up for it. You have some guys coming up who have gotten a hit tonight. Landry Nelson with a single, Braxton Maxwell at the double. There's the single through the right side. Taking the turnaround first, heading to third is Okerlund. And runners on the corners for the Wolves with nobody out here in the 5th. Back-to-back singles off Tyler Hoyt, and now Landry Nelson's going to come to the plate with nobody out. And Tyler Hoyt in some trouble for really the first time in this one. Now we'll see here how Beaver wants to play this with runs really in this one for Beaver. Base runners have been a premium. You don't really want to give up too many runs here, but it looks like they'll play back and try to take the double play for the run. The pickoff move, diving over to first, and they got him. Running him down, they're going to slap the tag on Porter, and returning back to third is Okerlund. So a big caught stealing there. The pickoff move finally pays off. The first out of the inning is retired as Porter was well off the bag, and Hoyt made such a quick move that Porter kind of slipped as he was trying to get back, and once he slipped, he knew it. His only way was to try to take off for second base, and when he did that, trying to allow Okerlund to move up, that didn't happen. First pitch is a called strike to Landry Nelson, no balls and 1 strike. So now it makes it a little bit different situation if you're Beaver, because now you can exchange the out for the run in this case. No balls and 1 strike the count. Hoyt from the stretch delivers, there's a straight pitch out. That's interesting to see why you would pitch out with a runner on third, but I guess they wanted the chance to maybe throw down and try to get Okerlund off the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The pitch on its way. There's another what appears to be kind of a pitch out. It's either that or they're trying to really hit that outside corner, and that one misses for a ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Fisher Anderson in the on-deck circle. I mean, I guess if you walk Landry Nelson here, it's not the end of the world because the double play's back in order. 2-1 pitch. That one's going to be swung on, grounded to first. Knocked down by Smith. The run's going to score, and reaching first on a single is going to be Landry Nelson. It's 2-0 North Sevier. So you got the ground ball to first. You would have gotten the out had it been fielded cleanly, but in that situation, there was no way to field it cleanly. It was mishandled, and so Landry Nelson, I would imagine that would be a base hit. Because the ball was hit very hard at first. So an RBI single for Landry Nelson, his 2nd hit of the night. And North Sevier's got a little bit of run support. And there's a first pitch. There's a fire down to first. And getting back there is Nelson, as the first pitch was a called strike to Fisher Anderson. Anderson 0 for 2, has flown out to center field and grounded out to second on the night. North Sevier now gives Tyrell Williams another run to work with here. And the pitch comes, swung on and missed. The changeup came, and out in front of it was Fisher Anderson. No balls and 1 strike to count. No balls and 1 strike to count. The right-hander Tyler Hoyt working from the stretch. Throws over to first, diving back, and getting back safely underneath the tag there is Landry Nelson. No balls and 1 strike to count. Infield up the middle, a double play depth. Hoyt kicks, delivers. That one swung on, popped up. Hit pretty well. Hutchings is going to go back. He's going to range over towards the line, jump, and make the catch for the second out of the inning as the relay throw comes in. Retreating back to the bag is Nelson. So there's 2 outs in the inning, and Braxton Maxwell is going to come to the plate. Maxwell had the RBI double back in the first inning. That gave the Wolves the 1-0 lead. Back in the third inning, he flew out to center field.
Number 24, Braxton Maxwell.
And now he'll stand in here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. The right-hander Hoyt from the stretch throws over, diving back safely is Landry Nelson. Boy, once you pick one guy off, if you're Tyler Hoyt, you want to try to pick the whole team off. I think everybody who's been on first base has gotten at least 1 throw over. Hoyt will take a look over at first, working from the stretch. The pitch comes home. That one swung on, and Maxwell just kind of, I want to say he swung, but he really just kind of threw the bat out there, made a little bit of contact, but fouled the pitch off, and it's no balls and a strike. No balls and 1 strike to count. The right-handed Hoyt from the stretch kicks and delivers. That one swung on, hit hard through the right side. Base hit. Going first to third is going to be Landry Nelson. The throw is going to be mishandled, trying for 2 and getting in there. Sliding is Maxwell. And so now a couple of men on in scoring position here with 2 outs. And North Sevier a chance here. They could double their lead, but the base hit. And so now Kyler Bosshart's going to come to the plate. Bossart 0 for 1. Also with a walk back in the first, popped out to first in the 4th. A big opportunity here because a base hit here could score 2 with the speed of Braxton Maxwell. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 lead for North Sevier, and the first pitch misses inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The Wolves trying to give Kyler, and the pitch comes in, swung on, foul back, and it's 1-1. Kyler Bossart at the plate, trying to give Tyrell Williams, if he could have 2 or 3 runs, that would be good, where a couple of pitches, if he makes a mistake, it wouldn't cost him the ball game. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. The right-hander set and delivers home. That one swung on and fouled back to the screen. It will be 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now on Kyler Bossart. Tyler Hoyt looking big time for strike number 3, trying to get out of it and get his boys up in the 6th to try to see if they can't cut into this North Sevier lead. Hoyt from the stretch, checks the runner at third, kicks and delivers a breaking ball, misses away ball 2, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners get their lead at second base. Nobody really holding on Braxton Maxwell, so he gets a big lead. The 2-2 pitch. That one swung on, hit pretty well. Sending Young back. Is he going to get there? And that ball is gone. It's off the wall, It's off that extended portion of the wall. 2-run score. It's 4-0 North Sevier here in the 5th. Kyler Bossart hit that one off the extended wall in left field. You have the green portion of the fence and then you have this extended portion that is just kind of like a chain link metal fence that extends, and the ball bounced right off that, which didn't quite get it. And when that happened, both runs able to score, and Bossart gets into second. Courtesy runner will be Brock Nicholson out at second base for running for Bossart here. And the first pitch misses high with the fastball. It's 1 ball and no strikes here on Tyrell Williams, the pitcher. When he takes the mound in the 6th inning, he'll have some run support to work with here. And that one is swung on, hit out to left. Young gets there, makes the catch, and the inning is over. But North Sevier gets the first time tonight. They get some run support on the board. They score 3 here in the 5th. And at the end of 5 from Brent Brown Ballpark, it's North Sevier 4, Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 6th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem. North Sevier uses a 3-run bottom of the 5th inning to open this one up. They lead 4-0 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Beaver will send up 3, 4, and 5. Brennan Hutchings, Jackson Osborne, and Dylan Smith. And they need to get something going fast. They need 4 runs to keep their season alive. They have 6 outs to do it. And the first pitch is low and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Hutchings on the day is 0 for 2, a ground out to third and a fly out to right. Hutchings stands in from the right side, kicks and delivers. That one swung on. That one's going to be chopped in the hole. It's going to be cut off. No, it's going to go deep. The long throw, and they got him. It was a bang play at first. Anderson had to make the deep throw, and it's in time to get the base runner for the first out here in the 6th inning. That is a great play, having to go deep in the hole. Fisher Anderson having to backhand it and then make the long throw across the diamond to get the speedy Hutchings. And it was a bang play at first, but they get the first out of the 6th inning. And here comes Jackson Osborne. Osborne struck out in the 2nd, reached on an error in the 4th. 0 for 2 on the night officially. And the first pitch on the way, a breaking ball that stays away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. Osborne getting the start at third base for Beaver. The 1-0 pitch, the kick, and the delivery on its way. That one's going to be in there at the knees. And the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Dylan Smith in the on-deck circle for Beaver. They need base runners. And that one's going to be swung on, hit well to center field, but getting under it is Rhett Porter. He's there, and there's 2 outs here in the 6th inning. So Beaver's just had some at-bats tonight when they've hit the ball well, but they've just hit it right at people. And just like that one there, that's just a strict fly ball to center field. And with 2 outs, Dylan Smith comes to the plate. Smith had a single in the 2nd inning and flew out to center in the 4th. And the kick and the first pitch home swung on and missed, strike 1. There, he challenged him there, did Tyrell Williams with the fastball, and Smith just swung through it. No balls and a strike. The kick and the delivery comes home. That one swung on, foul down the line, and be quickly no balls and 2 strikes to count. Tyrell Williams has just pitched really well tonight for North Sevier. No runs on 3 hits throughout the ball game. He's had 4 strikeouts. Kept his walks to a minimum. In fact, I don't think he's walked anybody tonight. And the 0-2 pitch misses away, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, looking at my scorebook here, he hasn't walked anybody tonight. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The kick and the delivery on its way home. Breaking ball. That one's going to be swung on, lined into the gap. That's going to fall out there. Coming over to try to cut it off is Rhett Porter. It's going to roll all the way to the warning track. Dylan Smith takes the turn for second. He's heading for third. He's up there standing with a 2-out triple. Beaver has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. A much needed hit for the Beavers to try to get something going with 2 outs. It's going to be Porter Hollingshed coming to the plate. Hollingshed on the day has flown out to right and grounded into a fielder's choice. Beavers had a couple of base runners in the ball game on at third base, but they haven't been able to produce the runs. Williams kicks and comes home. That one swung on, popped up foul, and it'll be no balls and 1 strike. And that's really where Beavers struggled in this one. They've had Talon Lopshire on at third base in the third with nobody out, and they couldn't get the run home. As the pitch comes in, the 0-1 pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. They've had base runners on base in almost every inning, but then they ground into a fielder's choice or something happens where they get these runners on, but they can't get them past first or second base. 0-2 pitch on its way. That one swung on, popped up into left field. Going back on its Maxwell. He ranges under it, reaches up, makes the play, and the top of the 6th is over. So once again, Beaver gets a 2-out triple, but can't score the runner from third. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. North Sevier 4, Beaver 0. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A State Baseball Championship here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. North Sevier took care of the run support here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They scored 3 runs, but another run or 2 wouldn't be a bad thing, as 7-8-9 Isaac Thompson will step in and lead it off, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1. It'll be Isaac Thompson, Colby Christensen, and Trevor Ogerlund here for the Wolves. Tyler Hoyt still out there. The right-hander delivers the 0-2 pitch. That's right on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Hoyt kicks, comes home. The pitch, that one low and away for a ball, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Time called as Thompson will step out of the box. Thompson's been hit by a pitch and went down on strikes back in the 4th. Hoyt kicks, comes home, the 1-2 pitch. Did he chase? Yes, he did, says home plate umpire. The throw down to first is in time. And so Thompson, for the 2nd time tonight, will go down, this time on the K2-3. So with 1 away, Colby Christensen comes to the plate. Christensen flew out to center field and then also went down on strikes back in the 3rd. Hoyt delivers, and the first pitch swung on, popped up. Dylan Smith going to give it a look over towards the bullpen, reaches up, and the ball went foul before Smith could make the play. There's a long run there as he had to run up towards the bullpens. He didn't have to run towards the pitcher's mounds in the bullpen, but the home plate area, and he made the long run, almost got there. But the hands went up from Marcus Moore on the base pass when that one went foul. No balls and 1 strike to count. Hoyt will look in, get the sign, stands back up on the hill, kicks and comes home. The 0-1 pitch misses low and away, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to count, and the kick and the delivery comes home. That one swung on, fouled right back to the screen, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Colby Christensen. In the 7th inning, when Beaver comes up, they'll need right now at least 4. They're going to have Austin Marshall, Tavin Falls, and Trey Young, 7, 8, 9 coming up, as the 1-2 pitch bounces in the dirt for a ball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So they're going to have to go to work, and they'll probably have to do it against Tyrell Williams. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The pitch and the delivery swung on, grounded to short. Mishandled there by Heslington, and reaching base there is Colby Christensen. It'll be interesting to see there. I would imagine the only way you're going to be able to rule that, though, would be to give him an error. It was deep in the hole, but if he fields that cleanly, he would have had plenty of time, and they're going to give him an error. So Christensen reaches on the air, and that brings up Trevor Okerlund. Okerlund singled and scored in the 5th and went down on strikes back in the 2nd. Okerlund took, of course, a shot earlier in the, I think in the top of the 5th inning. Just took a sharply hit one hopper that came up and hit him in the face, but he stayed in the ball game and then led off the bottom of the inning and got a hit and scored. Pickoff move. That ball is going to get past Dylan Smith. Christensen's going to head up. He's going to go to second base, and he's going to stop there, and that's where the throw over to first that sometimes you could say might not be fully necessary. That's where it comes back to hurt you, because now with 1 out, the runner's in scoring position. The 4th error of the night against Beaver. That will be an error against Tyler Holt, the pitcher. Okerlund stands in and gets the first pitch. There's a fastball that misses high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. On deck, it's Rhett Porter and the top of the North Sevier lineup as they try to get a date tomorrow afternoon with Gunnison. The 1-0 pitch, that one swung on, line to left field. Is it going to fall? It will, in front of Young. Young's throw coming around third and falling to the base runner, Christensen. He's caught. Going home with it, it's going to be Falls who slaps the tag on him. But advancing down to second base is Trevor Okerlund. So heads up base running there. That's really all he could do once he slipped coming around third base was Christensen, was just get caught in a rundown. So he is going to be caught 7-5-2 for the 2nd out of the inning, and Rhett Porter comes to the plate. Porter 0 for 2, flew out to center field twice and had a single back in the 5th. Then he got picked off. The pitch sits right on the outside corner for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Lights beginning to take full effect here at Brent Brown Ballpark as we reach 8:45. Be an early start tomorrow here, 11 a.m. first pitch. That one swung on, hit down the right field line. Is going to stay fair. It's just going to go foul. That had extra bases written all over it for Rhett Porter. We'll go over the schedule once more before we sign off for the night here from Brent Brown Ballpark. But Delta and Emory gets started tomorrow morning at 11. Gunnison against right now what looks to be North Sevier, the winner of this one at 1:30. Manti Enterprise at 4:30. And the 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That Manti Enterprise game is a winner's bracket game. So the loser of that one will not be eliminated, but the winner clinches a spot in Saturday's state championship game. And then the 7 o'clock game will be the winner of Delta Emory against the winner of Gunnison against the winner of this one. There's a base hit back up the middle for Porter. So coming around third and going to score is Okerlund, and it's 5-0 North Sevier here in the bottom of the 6th inning. An RBI single for the top of the lineup. And now Landry Nelson comes to the plate, and here in the 5th, and that run hurts if you're Beaver, because now that's just another additional run that you have to try to come up with in the top half of the 7th inning. And every other run now that comes up on that board becomes harder and harder against Tyrell Williams, who you've honestly had a hard time getting runners in scoring position all night. Landry Nelson stands in. Nelson 2 for 3 on the day. 2 singles, 2 runs scored. And the first pitch is swung on, grounded to short. Heslington's there. He'll go the short way for the out, and the 6th inning is over. but now the time is yours. If you're the Beavers, you need 5 runs to tie to send this to the bottom of the inning, 6 runs to take the lead. We'll see if Beaver can continue their season. They have 3 outs remaining on their 2015 season. We'll see what will happen in the top of the 7th when we come back here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 7th inning here at the 2015 Class 2A State Baseball Tournament. It's an elimination game, and right now the Beavers are facing elimination. They have 3 outs to score 5 runs. They'll have the bottom part of their lineup against Tyrell Williams, Austin Marshall to step in and lead it off. And the first pitch home from Williams is high for a fastball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Marshall on the day 0 for 2. Popped out to the pitcher Williams and flew out to right back in the 4th. 1 ball and no strikes the count. The right-hander delivers. That one swung on, popped up. That's going to go foul. And the count's now 1 ball and 1 strike the count. (5-0) North Sevier. They scored 1 in the 1st and then added 3 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. The 1-1 pitch. That one swung on, hit well out to left field. Going back, getting under it is Maxwell. He'll make the play, and the first out is recorded here in the 7th inning. Another situation where Beaver got a good swing on the baseball, but just hit a ball right at somebody. And now Tavin Fails is going to come to the plate. Fails is 2 for 2 on the day. He's reached base twice, and the first pitch is coming home, and he takes that one low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. On deck, it's Trey Young, the 9-hole hitter. Williams from the right side, set the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed, and the count evens at 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. He just took a big cut at that and came up empty. The 1-1 pitch, the wind, the delivery comes, and that one off the plate ball too. And the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. The best thing here if you're Beaver is you need a base runner. Anyway, a hit, a walk, something. The 2-1 pitch misses inside, high and tight, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike. So a walk here. You'll take a walk just to get something going and then start stringing together some hits. 3 balls and a strike. Williams set on the mound, gets the sign. Winds and delivers the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back. Got a good fastball that caught a good portion of the plate as the ball will kind of fall here into the, I think maybe the very first row of seats here at Brent Brown Ballpark. As the first day of the 2015 2A State Baseball Tournament's coming to an end. The 3-2 pitch. Right on the corner, it's a called strike 3, and there's 2 down here in the inning. That's the 5th strikeout of the night for Williams. And the 2nd out here in the 7th inning, and Beavers down to their final out, and Trey Young will stand in. Young is 0 for 2 on the night with 2 strikeouts. A strikeout swinging in the 3rd, a strikeout looking in the 5th. Tyrell Williams set, ready to go. The kick and the delivery on its way is a fastball in there, about a knee-high fastball for a called strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count. The right-hander Williams kicks and comes home with it. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Trey Young took a mighty cut and came up empty. Down to their final strike is Trey Young and the Beavers. From the stretch, the kick and the delivery on its way home. That one, a fastball well off the plate for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Young stands in here, and the 0-2 pitch about to come home. The kick and the delivery, that one swung on, foul back, and we'll do another 1-2. The pitcher, Tyler Hoyt, in the on-deck circle for Beaver. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 7th. The kick and the delivery coming home, and Young swings, hits that one to right. Coming over, and that is going to go foul, says the first base umpire, as taking the turnaround first was Trey Young, as the hands went up right as that ball maybe might have just hit on the other side of the line. The foul line starts from home plate from the batter's box and goes all the way to the foul pole down the line. And anytime the ball hits that line or the left side, then it's a fair ball. But if it goes on the other side, it's a foul ball. 1-2 pitch. The pitch on the way. Breaking ball. Tyrell Williams thought it was strike 3. He was almost off the field. And now he just kind of has a smile on his face there as he heads back to the pitcher's mound. A lot of his teammates thought it was strike 3 as well, but this time it just missed. Explanation there given to Bossart behind home plate. The 2-2 pitch, the kick and the delivery, fastball misses away, ball 3, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Should the inning continue, Tyler Hoyt on deck. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. The right-hander looks in. Williams kicks and delivers home. That one swung on, popped up. Bossart going to give it a look, and he's going to run out of room, and we'll do another 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 down. The right-hander set and kicks and comes home with it. Young swings and hits that one to right, but that's going to go foul, and he stays alive again. Trey Young staying in there, battling, trying to do everything he can to get the Beavers one more batter on the season. Kyler Bossart behind home plate, gets the sign into Tyrell Williams, who kicks and comes home. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Trey Young goes down for the 3rd time on the night, the 6th strikeout of the game for Tyrell Williams, who goes the distance. A complete game shutout for Tyrell Williams. He only allows 4 hits on the night, and the Beavers are eliminated from postseason contention. So the final score here, we have North Sevier 5, Beaver 0. That puts North Sevier in a game tomorrow at 1:30 against Gunnison in another elimination game.